I'm back, guys, from Tampa Bay. Tonight, I think I'm going to head down and show you guys a little bit of Clearwater Beach, maybe catch some of the sunset. It's the end of the day here. I think we've got about an hour or so of light left. Should give me enough time to get down there, at least show you some pretty sky. Shouldn't be too much traffic. It's the middle of the week. And I just need some little rest and relaxation here. And there's nothing better than a bike for that. First I have to get some gas though. Ran out coming back, not ran out, I used my normal tank coming home from the shoot the other day. So this will be the first tank I put in it. Must have been delivered with about a half a tank. I didn't even look. But since we only have, I don't know, 120 miles or so on it, and it's got a 6.6 gallon tank, and that should mean about a good 250, 260 mile range. It certainly wasn't delivered with full tank, which I wouldn't expect, not complaining. It's just that I never noticed. So I'm going to head on up to Sam's Club real quick. I still haven't figured out that Winn-Dixie fuel rewards, but I'll figure it out and I'll use that on the car. Apparently you can only use it once, so I don't want to waste it on the bike. We've got all these ducks in the neighborhood because there's a lake behind the next block of houses right to the left here, and they like crossing. There's a lot of people that feed them here on the other side. Cool little neighborhood pets. Sun's getting pretty low. Beautiful weather out. Much better. I have had a splitting headache all day. Sometimes I get them from stress. Sometimes it means I need a new prescription for my glasses, but I just got new glasses. It's not that. These are great. Sometimes it's a hangover, but that's kind of rare. Don't really drink all that much, just socially. A little bit of whiskey here and there at home, but never more than 1 or 2 drams. I just like to taste the flavors. It's a lot like cigars. There are all kinds of flavors in whiskeys. Not a big bourbon fan. I just find the whiskeys a little more complex, and I like all the different complex flavors you can get. And I find that I really like heavily peated whiskeys. It took me a little while to really have an appreciation for it. My favorite right now is a Springbank 12 year. Not that expensive, about 60 bucks a bottle. I mean, it sounds expensive if you're not a whiskey drinker, but that's really on the lower end for any kind of good quality. Of course, that lasts a long time. But I'm not any kind of whiskey connoisseur or expert or anything like that, just a budding drinker. That's it. Just appreciating the good flavors. So I've told you before, I've got a lot of ideas and directions I want to take the channel and the site. And one of them is doing some dedicated videos that are just for relaxation. You know, most motovlogs out there that I see, at least, they're 5 to 10 minutes long, and there's rarely more than half a second between somebody talking. I don't really like watching that kind of stuff. It's, I don't know, it's not relaxing, number one. Sometimes they're very entertaining, but I don't know, some of them are like watching somebody amped up on sugar with ADD, you know, it's just, I can't do it. My wife watches that kind of stuff all the time, but it's just not me. I definitely can't produce that kind of stuff. So one thing I wanted to do is produce ride videos just for somebody that wants to relax and unwind. I watch stuff like that. Not ride videos. I've never... Oh my god. Dying. Diesel fumes. Oh my god, that's freaking nasty. Oh, why don't they have emission laws for diesel vehicles? I am dying here. Crap. I gotta get over. Oh, that is horrendous. I mean, it's hot on my leg and it's just like choking me. I don't want to put the visor up, it'll be worse. Nasty. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, ride videos. So, one of my thoughts is to produce videos just for people that want to unwind. I watch stuff like that, especially if I'm just laying in bed at the end of the day. And it's stuff where I don't have to think about. And my thought is just some nice scenery to look at, not necessarily going down a road like this, but I'd pick some better roads. And really cool, chill music. Not me talking, just you watching a cool ride, you know, basically like taking you with me. And maybe if I hit some roads kind of like that, I'll do a minute or two of it in this video to kind of show you what I'm thinking and test it out, because I'm really not sure if it would even translate that well from what's in my head. But gotta try it. Gotta try it at least once. So I guess gas prices this summer have been really fantastic, and I've seen a lot of people on Facebook post pictures of the price at the pump. Say that 5 times fast. And I don't know, I think I saw some news article about why they're a little low. I don't care, I'm just going to enjoy it. Man, is this a pessimistic reserve? Even showing 16 on the reserve counter. I had just over a gallon left. Good price though, $3.16 a gallon. Can't complain about that. So now let's head on down to the beach here. Grab that clutch. So something kind of related to the relaxation videos. ASMR. Probably not many of you have ever heard the term, and probably less of you even have it. It's not a disease, it's an acronym. And I'm going to bet that at least one of you watching this has it and never knew it. It's called Autonomous Sensory Response Mechanism. And in a nutshell, what it is a mild to quite intense tingling sensation through the head and usually all the way down the spine, sometimes into the extremities. And it's triggered by some very specific trigger points. There are some that are a lot more common than others. I have it, and unfortunately my trigger, I only have one. It's kind of rare. But for the very common ones, there are tons of videos on YouTube, and you can find them by just searching for ASMR. Most people tag it in the title, so it's very easy to find them. And it's really cool for those people that can be triggered by the more common ones. Now what I'm talking about is like the sound of somebody's nails scratching on a surface. That's very common. That'll trigger a tingling sensation in a lot of people. Or the sound of somebody whispering, especially very close to your ear. So there's a lot of channels out there that do special recordings. They actually use a special microphone set that is put in a head-shaped dummy device, basically. And when you play it back on headphones, it gives a very accurate three-dimensional reproduction, just like you're there, because the microphones are in the exact same position as your ears. So those kinds of recordings can give, I mean, just amazing, if they're recorded well, three-dimensional audio, just like you're in front of the person. So they can walk, for example, around the back of your head, and it sounds like they are in back of you talking or doing whatever. So there's a lot of triggers, a lot of people have triggers for that, the whispering, and mine is kind of weird, and unfortunately it doesn't translate well to people that make the dedicated videos. My trigger is when somebody is showing me how to do something, or giving me instructions, or demonstrating something, and I'll get it like if I'm buying something and a salesperson is like, say I buy a new phone and they're showing me how to set up a feature or something, and you know, I'm there at the store and they're in front of me showing it. That is my trigger. And the bummer part is it has to be real. It's not a physical thing. It's in your brain. And my brain knows that if it's not real, it doesn't happen. So even though there are a lot of people with that type of trigger, it's kind of rare that it isn't triggered artificially. So there are a lot of videos out there that are demonstrating something, like you know, role-playing a salesman, for example, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't do anything. So that's kind of a bummer. But you know, I do find a lot of videos that do trigger it for me because they are real demonstration videos. It might be a product demo, or a tour of a factory, or you know, anybody just showing how something works. That works for me, so it's cool. So if you've had I just found out that ASMR existed, that it's a thing, a couple years ago. I've had it all my life that I can remember, and you know, just thought I was weird. But no, there's millions of people out there that have the same experience. Nice BMW there. Love the BMW bikes. Really unique look. Awesome engineering and designs, especially the suspensions and engines. I mean, there's nothing else out there like them. But man, are they expensive. Holy moly. I mean, the equivalent to this FJR, thousands more. But they're nice. They definitely hold their resale too. And they are known for extreme mileage. Low maintenance. You just pay for it up front. You don't see too many of them around here. Mostly around here it's just the cheaper Japanese sport bikes. That's pretty much it. A lot of young riders, and then of the older riders pretty much are all Harleys. You know, that's really all you see around here is kids on sport bikes, usually 600s, or older riders on Harleys, and that's usually just on Saturday or Sunday. Not a lot of commuters that I see. I see a lot around the universities, especially around Tampa. But here in Pinellas, we've got a remote campus for St. Pete Community College. But I don't really see too many bikes around it. So it's nice to see something cool. Oh, beautiful weather. How hot is it? Let's see. Still got to get used to these menus. Keep hitting the wrong ones. I've got 182 miles on the clock. It's 93 degrees, but the sun isn't directly overhead, so it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's in the 70s, especially moving. Real nice. I don't know about riding with a little shirt and sneakers though. That's just not me. Feel free to ride however you like. I'm not one to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but that's not me. I just choose not to ride in the extreme hot parts of the day. And if I know I'm going to go somewhere where I can't be all hot and sweaty, I'll just take the car. Not really a big deal. I'd rather put on the mesh jacket and not have to worry about really getting messed up if I go down or whatever. Somebody asked me on a video yesterday, have I ever crashed and am I worried about it? And I answered, no, I haven't crashed, but I have dropped my previous bike twice in a parking lot. And here's a couple tips for you. When you put your boot down, make sure you're on real good solid ground and not loose gravel, because it can be surprisingly liquid when you're coming down and you have a little bit of, come on lady, what are you slowing down for? It's green. 10 under going through the freaking green light, asshole. Gravel can be surprisingly slippery and liquid when you have a little off-axis weight on you. And here's the other tip. Make sure that your kickstand is 100% down. Because it's real easy, at least on this bike, because there's no kind of detent, there's no stop that lets you know it's actually down. It's just a spring and it just stops at the end. But it feels the same if it's 90% swung down or 100. And if it's 90%, it's pretty much vertical. And all it takes is a little bit roll forward of the bike and down it goes. So that's what happened. Lesson learned. Cost me a few $100 for some scratches. No real damage, because both times it went down on me, on my leg. So I just kind of controlled it as it sat down. I couldn't lift it up. I couldn't save it. I had to get out from under it, and that's what really scratched it. So that's the extent of my crash experience. But you know what? Ride long enough, you're probably going to crash, whether it's your fault or somebody else's. And that's why I wear my gear all the time. It's not that I'm worried about it, but I'm concerned enough that I plan for the occasion by wearing my gear. That's it. But if I was the kind of person that worried about things, I wouldn't do them. And I don't think too many motorcycle riders are the worrywart type. You know what I mean? It's not that we're all risk takers or adrenaline junkies or anything like that, but we're not scaredy cats. We're not sit at home and don't do anything because something might happen. I have a couple of relatives like that. It's really pathetic. But, you know, it's kind of cliche, but you only live once. Have fun within reason, and that's it. So that's what I'm doing. I love riding. It's not going to stop me because something bad might happen. Some people say the same thing about driving. They don't want to drive a car, or they don't want to leave their county, or, you know, whatever. Everyone has their own boundaries. I just don't think motorcycle riders in general have very small ones. So I'm going to continue on here. Got about 10 miles of boring straight road, and then we'll be getting near the beach, and I'll show you some cooler stuff. So we're coming up on Dunedin, Florida. This is right above the city of Clearwater. City of Clearwater is pretty much all Scientologist owned now. They bought up over 80% of the land and buildings and businesses and tore down a lot of the ghetto, revitalized it, brought a lot of money into the area. I think they're crazy, but good for business. So the government loves them. And then you have Clearwater Beach, which is right across the intercoastal, completely separate. Nothing Scientologist over there, all tourist stuff. That's where the real money is. But Clearwater used to have not so great a reputation because it was very low class, low income, a lot of crime, a lot of drugs, a lot of vacant businesses and all that kind of jazz. But over the last decade, the Scientologists have completely turned it around. It's actually really nice. They got a downtown area that you can walk around, and you know, there's nothing bad about it now. So kudos to them. Dunedin here is a Scottish little community, and they have a couple big events downtown every year, and they've got some real nice local bands that are traditional, and they've got a really awesome brewery, Dunedin Brewery. They do their own stuff, but they also get in a lot of excellent craft beers, and they have a lot of events there. I've been a photographer at a few Stogies and Stouts events where they have a few hundred people that can buy special tickets, and it gets you all the beer you can drink for the evening, plus a whole bunch of cigars, and it's a really excellent deal for anyone that's into those things. And it's just a really nice brewery. The downtown area is pretty small. We're going to kind of go past it because it's a lot of slower one-way streets. The biggest draw to Dunedin is one of the local hospitals. It's one of the larger ones in the area. There's also one in downtown Clearwater, and there's one in Palm Harbor. Those are the big three right around here in Pinellas. And then you have big veterans down in St. Pete. Downtown here goes to the left. We're going to go straight just because it's a little quicker. It's mostly just 15-mile-an-hour parking from here on till we meet up with it. This place here, it's gone through several different owners, changed names. It's been a number of really nice restaurants. I don't understand why it keeps changing hands, but every time I've been there, no matter what it's called, it has really good food. Directly on the other side of this light here is the water, so we're up to the coast. This is alternate 19 that you might have seen in previous videos. And it skirts all the way down the coast until you get to Clearwater, and then the land here widens a little bit, and it kind of goes more towards the center of the county instead of right along the water. What are you doing, dude? Alright. You're not even at the light. Come on, old man. It won't change unless you're at the light, dude. Move up. You are an asshole. He's got the death look. Mouth open. I'm 95. Dude, it won't change unless you're at the light. Move up. Oh, I'm gonna go around this ass. Fucking dick. Go back to Ohio. Freaking snowbirds. The area depends on tourists, but they really mess things up. Especially when they try to drive. Oh, you mean I have to go up to the light? Fucktard. Now you're gonna run the red. Yeah. What a fucking dillhole. People think I exaggerate when I complain about them down here. I'm not. These are the assholes that I have to deal with when I'm on the road. Because they're just fucking old and retarded. Shouldn't be driving. Sorry to anyone watching that's old, but you know what? It's the truth. No one's told this dick that he needs to turn in his license. Somebody needs to. Oh, now watch. He's going to stop for this fucking green light, I bet. Yep. Go! Jesus Christ. Pull the fuck over, dude. You were ruining my ride. And of course I got no passing all the way down here. Oh my God. Close your mouth and drive. You're worse than somebody on the phone. You just don't have the mental capacity to be driving. Oh, thank God. He's going into the retirement village. Perfect. Is he, or is he just driving with the signal on? I don't know. Where are you turning? There's no road there. Are you serious? Oh my God. Okay, if anyone is related to the old fuck in the AWI 7326 Volvo, you need to take away his license. Seriously. Alright, well, on that note, here is some beautiful Florida scenery. This is why I live here, guys. That's North Clearwater Beach, and this is heaven. Now I'm going to cut into a minute or two of what I had in mind here for relaxing rides. Enjoy. Well, I'm anxious to see how that turned out. See if it's what I had in my head there. I think it's kind of a cool concept and it's got legs, but I'm thinking just some dedicated videos like that, longer, not to replace anything, not to take the place of any normal motovlog videos, but I want to have several different types. Get a range of different kinds of viewers that might be interested in seeing what's going on. This girl here is a Scientologist. You can tell from the clothes. They kind of look like flight attendants. They have very specific types of clothes and colors that they can wear depending on their level they've ascended to and all that kind of stuff. And during the day when they're doing business, they're out on these sidewalks here. This is downtown Clearwater. En masse. I mean, hundreds of them walking and getting from building to building. These two buildings here on the right and the left, they're bridged by this upper pedestrian walkway. This is Scientologist headquarters. This is the old, I believe it was the Floridian Hotel. And then they built the building on the left and connected the two. The left one is now the main headquarters, but this was a big hotel. This is where they started from and branched out from. This is where everybody that you see, like Tom Cruise and John Travolta and all them, come. Right in there. That's where they do everything. That's headquarters. Not that I'm a celebrity watcher or anything, but you do see a lot of them. There are a lot of all kinds of celebrities right down here. I mean, some have homes just a couple blocks to the right here on the water. I'll swing by Hulk Hogan's new restaurant. It's actually doing very well. It's on North Clearwater Beach, and it's right in the heart of a new development that they put up. They built a couple huge hotels right on the water, and then there's a new shopping center that went up across from them. Plenty of parking. They really did a great job up there, and one of the best cigar bars. Well, it's more of a lounge. You've got a very limited bar section, but one of the better lounges is right next door, and they have a lot of successful events down there. Being right on the beach, it's full of tourist traffic pretty much year-round. All the locals are down there in the cooler months, and all the out-of-towners are here for the summer, and that's great. I absolutely love the way they redeveloped it all. Took years, but it was worth it. Whew, kind of feeling the heat down here with all the traffic, especially sitting at the light. That's the only bad thing. This downtown traffic, primarily during the day because there are so many Scientologists crossing the street, it backs up really bad. And you want to avoid coming down here at all costs. The other major thing is, at the other end of this road here, which is going to turn into a bridge very shortly, they put in a roundabout. Yep, we'll be just in time to catch the sunset. I thought we would. Love it. This used to be, well, all the bridges across this intercoastal 8-10 years ago were old drawbridges, which absolutely played havoc with traffic. I mean, it was a nightmare. So during that time, since then, they've been demolishing all the drawbridges. There's only one left, and putting in these span bridges, or arch bridges, or whatever they're called. It's not a span bridge. Oh, I love this view. South Clearwater Beach straight ahead. To the right of the road is north. It's mostly residential north. There's not a lot of commercial development, but all the way south, 12 or 13 miles worth until you get to the end, is all commercial. All hotels, condos. There's a little bit of residential on the intercoastal side, which is this side. Gulf of Mexico is on that side. 100% commercial. All completely built. Very nice. I mean, there are very few places to stay that I wouldn't recommend. There's tiny little bed and breakfast places, all the way to the mega hotels like the Hilton, and anything in between. Lots of condos you can rent. You can go on any of the sites that do, not timeshares, but like Airbnb, I think is one of them. Lots of people renting their stuff out. Done that for people to come down. Got the Clearwater Aquarium, which is pretty small, but they do have a cool dolphin sightseeing tour that leaves, and that is up just at pretty much straight when you see the road curve. The aquarium is really nothing to pay to see, but the dolphin sightseeing tour is cool. They go out on a special boat that fills with ballast water in the back, so it makes these 5 or 6 foot rolling waves behind it, and the dolphins love that, and they jump through the waves. I mean, just a couple feet away from the boat, along the back and the sides. So they just troll along the water, or along the beach here, and the dolphins love jumping, and everybody takes pictures. And it's cool. Lots of marinas, everything from huge yachts down to little pleasure craft. This is the famous roundabout, and it jacked up traffic so much that the architect for it committed suicide a year later because of the public backlash. I mean, people are finally, it's now, I don't know, 7, 8 years later, no, more than that, 9, 10 years later, and people are just getting used to it. It still messes things up because you have these pedestrian crossways all over, but they're finally figuring out how to actually use a roundabout, because we're not used to them here. This is the only one that I'm aware of until you get like 2 hours south in Sarasota. Used to be just a regular light and everything was fine. They originally had a big fountain right in the middle of it, and I can't remember why they took that out. I think it was because of visibility, but I mean, it was just like, okay, seriously, whoever thought of this should shoot themselves, and they did. That's how bad it is. So here's a little shopping area. You can see the condos here, and then past the next light, that last big building is a hotel with the blue awnings, or the blue balconies. And then up here on the right is Fusion Cigar Bar. There's another crappy one across the street, but nobody really goes to it. And then you have Hulk Hogan's place. They've got live music. Right out here in this courtyard here, they'll set up bands, and there he is. There's his statue at least, but that's where it is. Really, really nice place to visit. And then this is the big Sand Pearl Resort Hotel. Shot a lot of weddings and stuff there too. Some nice ballrooms. Come on over. And then the other really cool thing around here, oh, here's another one, the Jolly Trolley. The Jolly Trolleys are kind of like public transport up and down the beaches, and they even go as far north into Palm Harbor. They're really cool. Got Wi-Fi, super cheap or free, and a lot of weddings I've done down here on the beaches use them for transport for the guests to and from the beach to the reception. So here's one of the public lots, and it's all now electronically metered. Works very well, but this is the attraction. This is Rocky's Rockaway Grill, Frenchie's, sorry. And there's a couple of them, but this one here, obviously right on the beach, is volleyball nets, great view, awesome food, good price. I bring a lot of people here. They're here from out of town. They just want some real good beach food. They've got an awesome grouper sandwich, of course, po' boys, shrimp, all kinds of, you know, typical Florida food. Real good. All right, go left, dude, because I'm going right. I'm getting out of here. There you go. Now, this will be my first time riding the bike at night, so I'll get to see how the gauges and the headlights look. I haven't adjusted my gauges yet for the brightness, so I'll see if I've got it at a level I like. It's just now getting dark enough where I can see the headlights on the road. I don't know how it's going to show up on camera, but the sun just peeked down over the horizon, which means we'll have good color in the next 10 or 15 minutes. That's why I kind of wanted to stall going up here into North Clearwater Beach. I want to go down near the pier because it's a little secret. Photographers know it, but most people don't, that you get the beautiful skies after the sun goes down. And that's when the light is coming more up, especially when you have clouds near the horizon. That's when you get the red skies and the pinks and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to buzz on over there and see if I got a spot I can pull in real quick, and maybe see if I can get a couple pictures out of the GoPro. You know, I've been really impressed just with the video frame grabs from the GoPro, because I have Pro Tune on. The quality is just astounding. I can just pause the video and it's like a really nice photograph, especially when I was shooting at 60 frames a second. Even fast moving stuff, but just standing still, even 30 is perfect. At the pier, every Friday they have a big vendor show where they have booths and everything set up, and I used to do it selling large photographs. And they'll have a lot of street performers and magicians and kid stuff and all kinds of stuff. This is the pier entrance right here, one of them. A lot of people selling stuff. This is what gets people in this roundabout. You can turn off any of them with both lanes. So you get a lot of people that collide, turning off from the inner lane, and somebody on the outer lane is going straight. So there's the start of Pier 60. There's a little stuff going on every night, but Friday's a really big show. What killed it, the show, it used to be a lot bigger, was when they started development of this. This lot used to be free, and it used to be twice the size. So all of us vendors would get down here early, park, unload our trucks, set up, and all was right with the world. See the pier there? But they took out the big free lot, put in this half-size pay one, and now there literally isn't enough space for the vendors and the people. So vendors would have to get dropped off, or circle around for half an hour trying to look for a spot. There's a pirate ship out there. You're probably not going to see it because the lens is so wide, but there's all kinds of tourist ship rides. Oh, that's where I wanted to pull. I'll pull in right here. All kinds of tourist ship rides, and the pirate ship is one of them. Everyone comes out here to see the sunset. They got catamaran rides, speedboat rides, parasailing. The marina is right on the other side here of this little motel you can see. That's all intercoastal. And they go out. This is the brand new hotel they just built with the parking structure. And that's what really helped down here, because that is the only large parking area on the entire beach. It's 20 bucks a day, but you know what? It's worth it. There's always a spot. Dumps you out right here in the middle of everything. They got this really cool pedestrian walk that winds up and down the beach. All of this is brand new. This road used to be straight, and it used to go straight down the beach, but they gutted everything. They put in that pedestrian walk. They put in this road. They demolished every building on this peninsula and built all new. It really worked. It's beautiful. They're still building. You can see the cranes. There's a big nightclub down here. When I moved down here, it was just a tiny, tiny little motel that would do like deck parties. And now it's its own huge nightclub with its own parking structure, and it is packed. They do broadcasts for the big pop station here. It's called Shepherd's. Haven't been there in years because it's pretty much an 18 to 23-year-old place now. So it's been a long time since I did anything with clubs like that. But it's still really cool to pull up to from the water side, because they do have a real good mooring beach. So if you're on a jet ski or a small boat, you can just anchor up there and you're all set. They've got a beach bar and you're good to go. Just chill out on your boat. You don't have to go into the club. But all this is new. When I moved down, this is Shepherd's here, the light blue building. You can see the lettering on the parking structure for it. None of this was here. Now it's a beach resort. All that is new. That was just a little tiny 2-story motel just 10 years ago. Certainly has changed, but for the better. What are you doing, guy? You're just like in the middle of the road going the wrong way. That's great. So I'm going to go over this last bridge here. This is Sand Key. We're now leaving Clearwater Beach, going over a channel through the Intercoastal. And right on the other side of the Intercoastal here is Sand Key Park. There's another tourist boat you can see coming in, doing a sunset cruise. Sand Key Park is a really nice state park, beautiful family beach, nice clean white sand, huge beach area, very cheap to park, no pets allowed, but really good for kids, or just to be quiet. You don't have the tourist stuff over there. There's just a little shop, and that's it. I think it might be open. If it is, I'll pull in, but the parks all close at dusk, so they might have already shut the gate a few minutes ago. Then you can see the Intercoastal. This is as wide as it gets, right here at the top of the barrier islands, and it gets narrower and narrower all the way down. And it gets so narrow it's only about 50 feet wide. But here you can see it's half a mile or so wide. So let's see if this park is still open. This is where I like to go if I just want, it's been a while, but if I want to go and just enjoy a beach day. Wrong road. Like I said, been a while. There we go. No dogs allowed. Poor Chloe. Park closes at 9. Alright, it's 8:30. Good. So, no problem there. And there's lots of space and a little bit of hiking paths through the middle here, but you can play ball or frisbee. But I'd say 99.9% of people come here just to hit the beach. It's really the main attraction of Sand Key Park. And I've done a few shoots here, a couple weddings, and just some beach portrait sessions. There isn't a lot here. I don't prefer doing beach sessions here because there's no scenery. You don't have big tall beach grass. You don't have anything except flat beach. So it's kind of boring as far as photography goes. There's some barrier rocks on the end, but they're not that tall. So there's not too much you can do as far as being creative. But some people like it. You know, they just want a plain kind of standard beach shoot. Usually they're all dressed the same, khakis and white shirts, like it's the 80s. Not my thing, but gotta give people what they want. And then right on the other side of this is Shepherd's. Shepherd's is at the end of the channel there. And this again is the electronic metering. Very convenient. I like it. You don't have to feed the meter. You can get a card if you want. Plenty of parking. This is never full. I've never seen this beach more than halfway full. I'll see if we can get any kind of view here. There's a little bit of a natural sand mound, so usually don't have much of a view from the parking lots. You can see a little bit of color in the sky now. Clouds aren't quite in the right position to have much light tonight, but it's not bad. You got these boardwalks going out to the beach, and you can see how far away the water is. So there's a lot of, well, maybe you can't. There's a lot of, well, now we're getting some color. You see that top cloud kind of reddening up? Let me pull up here a bit. See that top end cloud reddening up? That will continue. I can see it growing a little bit. and the sky will just get a little bit more colorful. You know what, I'll sit here for a minute and we'll just see what happens. Now you can see it going more purple. Now a little bit more color lower in the clouds. You can see it changes color pretty darn quick. This is why when I do sunset sessions, it's real important that people pay attention to what I'm telling them, because you have about 2-3 minutes of optimal color and you're done. Alright, so there we go. Got the top clouds darkening, it's done. Cooling fan just came on the bike here. That means get moving, man. It's hot. Yeah, it is kind of hot, even though the sun's down. Alright, well, I think I'm going to meander out of the park here and call it an evening. Just wanted to unwind. My headache is gone, by the way. Gotta love riding, man. It's better than medicine. Better than a psychiatrist. Lowers your blood pressure, as long as you're not behind some old asshole. Love it. All in all, very cheap for adding a lot to your life. Let me tell you, if you don't ride, unless you have absolutely no interest in it, I highly suggest you think about it. At least go and take a weekend course, get your endorsement, spend a couple $100 to have fun riding around for a weekend, and enjoy yourself. Even if you don't think you're going to buy a bike, it's better than going to Disney, I'll tell you that. I would take the course, I would take the advanced course just for fun, and I actually might do that this winter. Actually, I will do that. I will take the advanced course this winter just for fun. Improving my skills will be a byproduct, but that will be fun. Alright guys, I am going to sign off. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me some comments on anything you see. Let me know if you think my relaxation drive videos is a good idea. Let me know if there's something that you think would be a cool idea. I'm always open to suggestions. Maybe I already have it planned, who knows? But hey, doesn't hurt to ask, right? Alright. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.